So, what if the ground beneath your conscious mind isn't solid at all? Today, we're taking a journey based on a really fascinating text, and we're going to descend into those hidden depths to listen to the echoes from the subconscious underground. And look, we're not looking for simple answers here. The goal is to explore those profound and, yeah, sometimes unsettling questions that live deep down inside all of us. This is going to be a journey into the abstract, so let's just see what we find. All right, so our first stop is this place, a place that's defined not by some sharp jump scare kind of fear, but by this vague, persistent anxiety. It's like a whole different dimension of fear, almost like a constant low hum of unease that's always just there, right below the surface. And the first character we meet here is a skeleton, just a lost soul wandering aimlessly. Now, this isn't a monster in the way you might think. It's really more of a representation of a feeling, that powerful, overwhelming feeling of being totally adrift in the chaos of existence. And this skeleton, it speaks directly to that feeling of pointlessness we all sometimes have. It kind of suggests that, yeah, panic might be a totally rational response to all the nonsense of life, but usually something else, something much heavier takes over instead. And that is the core mood of this whole underground space. It's not active terror, it's ennui. That deep philosophical weariness? It's a listlessness so powerful it just drains you of the will to even be afraid anymore. Okay, let's go a little deeper and see how this all builds on itself. Because where we're going next is going to challenge one of our most fundamental ideas, this whole concept of a stable, singular self. So then a second skeleton shows up, and it offers this really startling idea. It suggests that the self isn't some fixed thing at all. Nope, it's a dynamic, shape-shifting defense mechanism. The idea is that we constantly change who we are in this futile attempt to escape a reality that is, at its core, insane. Our identity? Just a conscious illusion we build to keep ourselves from drowning. And then, as if that wasn't enough, we meet the scarecrow. And this guy, he just dismantles the idea of self completely. He sees the I as nothing more than a temporary mix of outside influences. And he poses this incredibly profound question. Does saying I actually prove you exist? So here you have this really stark contrast, right? On one side, the self is this desperate fugitive, always changing to run away from some unbearable truth. And on the other side, it's just an echo, no original source. And it's left questioning if it's even real. So the question becomes, which one are you? Okay, so how does this fractured inner world actually affect how we see the outer one? Well, we're about to meet two figures who are going to completely blur that line between what's real and what we just perceive. A new voice pipes up, and it calls itself the Hell Beast. And it directly challenges how reliable our senses are. I mean, it basically argues that what you see, what you hear, what you feel, that's not objective reality. It's more like a subjective painting created by your own internal chemistry and just pure random chance. In this, well, this forces a deeply personal question, doesn't it? If our perception is just what the Hellbeast calls a realistic lie, then what does that mean for our fears? Are the monsters we see, both the ones inside us and the ones out there, are they just a trick of our own biology? Right after that, we meet the golem, and it claims to be the thing that we keep buried deep down inside ourselves. But here's the really unsettling part. It says we created it, not on purpose, but as like an unintended side effect of trying to solve other problems. So the golem, it's the harvest of all that chaos we try to bury, It represents all those unintended consequences of our actions, that messy, inconvenient truth that just bubbles up to the surface when we try to force control on everything. Okay, we've reached the deepest part of our journey now, and here a final kind of otherworldly voice arrives to bring this entire exploration into its sharpest and maybe its most disturbing focus yet. This alien poses the ultimate challenge. It looks at our seemingly pleasant, normal, everyday life up on the surface, and it asks, what if that's the real illusion? What if our nice, happy reality is just as much a work of fiction as all the chaos we just explored down below? Think about that for a second. What if a hallucination isn't a malfunction, but a tool? What if it's the very function our mind uses to shield us from a truth about the world that is just simply unbearable to witness directly. I mean, that completely turns our entire understanding of sanity on its head. And here it is, the final choice. The alien doesn't force the truth on us. It only whispers hints. That last terrifying step, the actual decision to open our eyes and really see, that's on us, and only us. And so we're left with this one last, really provocative thought. Is the comfort of your reality, the one you think is real, is it worth the price of never truly seeing what's actually there, even for a single second? The question just hangs in the air. And the answer? Well, that's yours.